Hi guys, I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 14 children. 12 of those children are still at home and we homestead. So I am out here in what is going to be our new pig pen. We had a pig pen out here last year and we built a log style cabin. I'll show you that in a minute. And we had like field fence that was run around this area that we have here, and we had to rip out the field fence because they kept pushing under. Even though we had electric, they would dig a hole and then push under, and it's kind of far from our house, which is way over there. Over there. So our house is way up there, so we couldn't see, and you'll see like this way that this pasture area is, it was really hard to see what was going on. So I will show you what we are working on. We used to raise pigs up front. Our first way of raising pigs, we used pallets, and we had no issues at all with pallets. And we think it's a great way to just reuse a resource and use it up, and it's cheap. And yeah, so I'll show you what we're doing. Okay, so this was the fence that we had before all along it. So it looks like a beautiful fence, right? Yes. So we're gonna leave this fence here because we need to dig out our pond. Can you see that mess? Eventually we'll get it done one thing at a time. I would say one day at a time, sweet cheeses, because that's what we need. One day at a time, one project at a time. So this fence right here is gonna stay because I actually have like fence along here, so if the pigs got out into here, then they're getting into like another paddock. So I'm not too concerned about it. I mean, it's concerning a little bit, but I am going to run the electric right here. They weren't getting out there, they were actually getting out into the woods over here. So what we did, we have these two, and we're going to do one more pallet and attach it to the tree. I gotta go get a we got to go get a hammer to take these little things off, and then we will put a pallet, attach it to this stump of a tree, and then put these two pallets on that. So basically how we do it is we put a T-post in and then run 2 or 3 pallets, put another T-post in, and then they're also connected together. You can see some places where they're connected. Some I think are in the back. I have to see, because it looks like they need to be connected more. Anyway, so they're connected in a couple different ways. Like this. And then like this. See, this is just electric wire, electric fence wire. We buy the rolls of it and cut pieces off. Come around, Lila.
Right here, Lila.
She wants to be out playing with us. So you've probably seen our dog with our sheep before, but she sees us. So the sheep are there, and she could see us out this back gate. And she wanted to come play because she wanted to make sure that we were doing okay. So, but it's good for her to know because she'll see the, she protects all the animals, so it'll be good for her. So we have the T-post attached all along this fence. So I'm coming out here. So one thing with kids is you can have them work on projects. I was out here for some of this. I was not out here for all of this because I have other things that I need to do. There's diapers that need to be changed. There's food that needs to be prepared. There's so many things that need to happen. Gardening, all that type of stuff. So we like to divide and conquer each day. And I talk a little bit about that. I wrote a post on my website. It's mamabeartomany.com. And I talked a little bit about that as far as scheduling goes. The post is scheduling. I think I made it like 2 weeks ago. And it talks a lot about how I manage those types of things and how to set up a schedule. So I was not out here for the whole time, but you can't just leave a project 100% up to kids, right? Because they're kids and they don't have experience, and maybe you have an idea in your head and they can't see your vision, and that's okay because we're all different. So I'm coming out here today to see what needs to happen. So those pallets over there need to happen. There's a little bit of a, I'll show you. Can you see this right here? I don't like that right there. So there's a T-post here, and then there's 3 pallets and then a T-post there. And those 3 I do not like. I see the way that they're leaning back like this, and I want to bring them forward like this and kind of close in this gap. So what I'll do is I want to put a T-post right there. And we are going to be running electric fence inside of this, but I want to put a T-post right there so that it gives more security. If they did try to push against it, that it wouldn't, they wouldn't be able to push out as easily. So here we go. We're going up to this section up here. The pond is there. We have field fence all along. So all this side here, we're going to leave the field fence. This side, we're coming up here and doing something here. So this is where I need to figure out what I want to do. So I'm making sure that you can see my face. I want to try to figure out maybe a way that I can have a gate along this back so that if I needed to, then I could run the pigs out this way. So this is what we're looking at. This is a lot of the land that we cleared. And so we have the pallets here, and the normal get out spot is actually like on the other side of the building over there. So I don't know if we should put, me and my daughter are probably going to chat about how we want to set this up and if we want a gate over here or not.
Come on, girl.
What a good girl. Yeah, so we're going to discuss how we're going to set this back part here up. But we have a pig up front that is challenging boundaries, and we need to work on that. So this is our pig area. We didn't actually end up chinking this because we brought the pigs up closer to the house this year. So that's something that we'll work on at some point. But it is warm. It's actually 77 here today. So that is pretty exciting. Or so the car said anyway. So Lila's just smelling around. And we have these pallets here. And then we have some pallets there to try to do, come along this way, to try to do this here. So we're gonna come from there along here and then across the front here, and then we have a gate there. So I think we probably will have enough pallets. We really should. So I think we'll take so you can see this fence is actually for this pasture. And this fence on the inside, we will put the pallets on. So we need to grab a couple more T-posts. It looks like maybe 2 or 3 more T-posts for down there. And then whatever. So we will come back when we have this complete and share with you what we did. Okay, so we have put all the yellow things on yesterday. And then today we just ran the wire, kind of hard to see, all 3 strands of wire this morning. And then all the way around. And then now we're going to go move the pigs. Okay, so we just brought up the 4 of the smaller ones, and they're as happy as can be, checking out their new pen. We'll go grab the bigger one now. Okay, all the pigs are in. The big pig just went behind the building. Oh, there she is. So all the pigs are in the pen and checking out their new setup. Okay, so we got the water set up here, full of water. And all the piggies over there and behind the building. Hi guys, I'm just going to do a little recap. So I had done the video in the beginning of this, and then I had this really weird thing the other day. I woke up with a headache, and it was like a really bad headache. And then I took ibuprofen, and then I threw up. So I was just having one of those days. I'm assuming that I probably threw up because of the ibuprofen. I'm not quite sure, like on an empty stomach, whatever. I'm not quite sure, but I just felt like blah that morning. My sun is so bright over here. I'm like trying to like hide in between these windows because it's almost like sunset. So the sun's coming down and it's right in the windows. But I just wanted to let you know like where we were at on this. So basically what we did was we ran the pallets all the way around doing the same system that I showed you. And then we took 3 strands of electric fence. The bottom one is really important. It needs to be about 6 inches from the ground, and then just strategically place the other ones above that. So we have 3 lines on top of that. And then we let the pigs in. They let the pigs in yesterday. And then the water bottle that you, 2 things. One, you see the little piglet chasing the pink one. So the pink one is actually in heat. I don't know if she'll get bred by that little piglet or not. We'll find out soon enough. So we have 4 females and 1 male. So the pink one that's big has already given birth before. She gave birth this spring. And the other 3 smaller ones, they won't be ready to breed until fall. If this pig doesn't get bred, then we're going to take the male out probably the end of the month, just so they're separated, so the piglets aren't getting bred until next year. So that's that. So we brought the pigs up, and then you saw that blue container. So the blue container is just sometimes you can go on Craigslist or whatever and get, they're like fruit juice containers. So they would, like restaurants or whatever would have like fruit juice in them. And then you can just like wash them out. So we cut the top off that, and then we scrub it all out. And then you can buy on Amazon, I think they're called like pig nipples drinkers or something like that. We call them pig nipples anyway. So they're bigger than, you can get them for chickens too, but you can get them for pigs. So they're bigger. And we put a couple of spigots on there, and then we'll fill that water. And it just works well because then we can fill it every couple days, rather than, pigs like to dump their water. Actually, in the summertime, they like to try to lay in puddles or lay in their water. So if you have a big, a big trough or whatever, sometimes they'll try to like get up in their trough and lay on top of it, and then usually break the trough. Even the rubber buckets or bins or whatever, they'll lay on top of them and break them. So we like to use this system. A lot of times in the summertime, we also will run a hose out there and like spray them all down and like give them a little wallow pad. So this is their main station on where they go. This is like their home base, right, if you will. So as things, we'll leave them in this home base so they can remember where they're supposed to be, right? And then what we'll do is each day we'll set up in that back paddock that I showed in the beginning where the cows and stuff go. That goes all the way back. So we have Premier One. We have their portable fencing or whatever. So what we'll do is we'll set up sections each day of portable fencing. And then when we will run the pigs out to that fencing, we'll have like a little chute that goes from there into that back area, into the fencing, and then we'll run the pigs out. Our pigs actually are used to being moved by just a bucket of food. So like we wouldn't feed them their first morning meal, and then we'd try to plan that move around morning meal time, and then we would just take a bucket, and they usually like follow, and we start that at a young age so that they'll move easily like that. So if we wanted to get them, we actually would move them like 4 or 5 acres back using that same process. And usually if nobody is in heat and you're not moving a male with them, then you don't have an issue. So that is what we do. We will have them on pasture back there unless somebody is giving birth. Then they come back up by the house so we can watch them. And also, so if we needed to have heat lamps or anything like that, we would have that available to us. So we pasture the pigs, and that's how we do it. Also, if say they got out of their pasture area, we always have that solid paddock to be able to put them in, because that's really important to us. If they don't have a solid paddock to go in and you have loose pigs, or say like the fence shorts or something like that, while you're repairing that fence or while you're having that issue, you need some place to put them that they're not just running wild, right? So that's why we have the big paddock area, and that's actually up a lot higher than the ground around here because it's a lot lower, and then it gets wet and whatever. So anyway, I am very thankful. My daughter, she took that little video footage showing the 3 strands, and then she took the video footage after she had moved the pigs to the paddock of the first the small ones and then the mama pig up to um, in there. So I'm very thankful that she did that. I just wanted to recap. There were some things that I wanted to tell you guys, explain to you guys. If you have any questions about our setup, or you have any ideas that you use that are low cost, we've actually done a fairly similar system before that worked really well. We had pallets before and ran electric inside. But what we had done before with the pallets was we had the pallets the way they are now. We had that, and then we had those skinny poles you can buy. They used to be like $2 at Tractor Supply, and we ran the electric fence inside instead of directly on the pallets. Well, that's what we had. That's what we had done last time, is run it in like that, and that worked well. Pigs don't like to try to go or push their boundaries if they can't see the other side. So the pallets really don't give them direct view to everything. It kind of like splits up their view. And for us, they're a free resource. Yes, it takes a while to, stack those pallets up, but it's a free resource. So it's really grateful for that. The blue water barrel, you can usually get them off Craigslist for $10, something like that. I think the nipples we spent like $10 for. You can see our pig house itself is logs from our land, and we did it log cabin style. I think I have a video with that before. And then the roofing for that was kind of tidbits of leftover roofing from other things. We also had purchased some roofing from a contractor that had like some odd things. So that was like discounted roofing. I really do think a roof is very important. Whatever you're going to use, even if it's a tarp, just make sure if you're using, like today I'm actually doing we're doing our chickens, and the tarp is very like thin, and we'll just double it up so that it really works, so you can get more life out of something like that. So I'll show you the chickens on another day once we move them out of the house and into their new coop. And yeah, so hope you all had a blessed day. Bye.